So, class number 21, it is February 3rd, and okay, so we just gave out the sheet, which is basically what we did last time, and last time we became familiar with the new structure, which is Hakol Modim. I think, if I remember correctly, we kind of covered I think we finished. Did we finish this little tiny piece that we were doing? We talked. We did a lot of introductions. We had to explain about a little bit about property law, a little bit about the situation that we were discussing is a person. We're within the category of talking about a father's obligation to redeem to the pidyon abed to his son, and the fact that the woman is exempt. Within that, we kind of went off on a tangent, kind of parenthetically. We discussed what happens when a father, whose obligation comes first, the father's or the son's, right? I have a son, I have not been redeemed, he's not been redeemed, who's first? Okay, and then we saw the structure of Hakol Modim. One of the things that we've been focusing on is on structure. And basically, we now know that whenever we see this kind of phrase, Hakol Modim, it's going to be, well, there's two opinions, and we come and say, well, they're actually not in disagreement in this case. Where they actually disagree is this case. So we have this structure of Hakol Modim. Everyone agrees that this case is fine. Everyone agrees that when you have only 5, then everyone agrees that when you have only 5, that the father redeems himself and doesn't redeem his son because the person's obligation first is to himself. They do disagree in the case where you have 5 as liquid cash. Is that the phrase? Yeah, I guess liquid cash, and the other 5 I tied up in a loan. So it's humorous, but right, and that's what we saw. Pretty straightforward. Zero. I think we kind of finished it, right? So what I'll do is, because I do want to go forward, and these Gemaras that we're going to be seeing in the near future are actually very easy ones. So I just want to continue. So I'm just going to read through this so we remember it, and then we're going to continue to a new section, which a nice, solid, small, really nice, compact section that we can do. Should be able to finish the whole thing today. Okay, so I'm just going to read through it to make sure we all know where we are. So it starts from Daf Kaftet Amud Aleph all the way to the bottom. So Tanu Rabbanan. Hu livdot uvno livdot. So the rabbi is taught. This is a quote from what? What type of source is this a quote from?
Tanaitic.
Right, a Tanaitic source, because anything has the letters Taf Nun Aleph, Taf Nun Vav is a Tanaitic source. Yes? Yes? Yes. Tanu Rabbanan. Okay? So Tanu Rabbanan, Hu livdot uvno livdot. Okay, so he to redeem and his son to redeem. Who could them livno? He precedes his son. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, B'no Kodmo, Shezeh Mitzvato Alaviv, V'zeh Mitzvato B'no Alav. Rabbi Yehuda says that his son comes first because this one, his mitzvah is on his father, and this one, his mitzvah is on, he has the obligation towards his son. Okay, so that's the quote. Amar Rabbi Yirmiyah, Hakol Modim, this is where our new structure comes in, and from this point on, anytime we see it, and I think next week, once we finish this next little sugya, I'll bring a few unseen, so we'll be able to practice with Hakol Modim. You see Hakol Modim, you know it's going to happen, and it's going to give us a case that they agree on, and a case they don't agree on. Everyone agrees in a case where all they have is only 5 coins. That who could them livno? That everyone agrees in that case that he precedes his son. Ma'itama, and please remember this phrase because we're going to see it soon. Ma'itama, what is the reason that everyone agrees in this case? Mitzvah de guf yadif. Okay, a mitzvah involving his own body or himself is preferable. Ki pligei, meaning what? Where do they agree? Where do they disagree? Where there is where a case where there's 5 mishuabadim, 5 that have a lien on them, 5 coins that have a lien on them, with a value of 5 coins that have a lien on them, and 5 that are b'nei that have no lien on them, liquid cash. Rabbi Yehuda, and this is the case where they disagree. This is what we have. 1, Rabbi Yehuda Savar. Okay, this is going back to the 2 opinions that we saw in the Mishnah. Again, I'm just running through this because I think we saw this. But I want to continue with a new thing. So what does Rabbi Yehuda think that he goes, that you do, what does Rabbi Yehuda say? That you first give your sons, okay? That he says that any financial obligation that is mentioned in the Torah, it's as if it's written in a contract. If it's written in a contract, it's binding. Okay? And it was always binding. It was binding from the first second. So, so with the 5 that I have, that I liquid cash, I give the Kohen directly to do my main obligation, because the moment my son is born, the moment my son becomes 30, the Torah says I have to redeem him. That's as if there's a contract that says it. There's a contract that says it. That contract is now tied to those 5 are already kind of spoken for. Okay, the moment my son turns 30 days. Okay, so the 5 that I have in front of me, I have an obligation to. Take a step back. I have 5 in front of me. 5. I have 5 slaim in my pocket. Okay, and I have 5 slaves that are tied up in. There's a lien on someone. The value of 5 slaves that I sold someone, but there's a lien on them that he didn't know about. So the 5 I have, I say, okay, here, I'm giving the Kohen, I'm using this for my son. Now the 5 that I need to redeem myself with, sure, Mr. Kohen, I have it. It's over there. You got to go to court to get it out of the value of it out of the property that I sold that guy. And how can you get it? Because when I sold it to him, there was a lien on it already. His problem he didn't find out. Okay? That's what we saw. So now we're going to continue, because I don't want to get stuck in it too much. But that's Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbanan Saver and the rabbis hold and that a loan or a financial obligation that is upon you based on the Torah, it is not considered to be like it's written in a contract. And therefore, those 5 that are tied up in the sale that I did already, there was never a lien on them. So all I have is 5. The 5 I have, I do it myself. Okay. Even though it's a really tiny sugya, it just involves so many other laws that are complicated. And last time we started discussing it, some things I knew, some things I didn't even know what to say. It's just, so we're going to continue. Okay? I've spoken for way too long. Okay, the next section we're going to do, and I have a next sheet to give out, so you guys will work together and Jen will work together. Okay? Good. There's 2 sides. Here. Baruch haba.
Thank you.
Come on in. We're just about to start a new sugya. So you missed the boring part we reviewed the last 2 weeks. Okay, here. So it's got 2 sides. And I want to remind ourselves that the methodology that we use is stage 1. What? Oh, you didn't get? Here. Stage 1 and 2 of a new sugya. Stage 1 is we identify function words. The second thing we do is after we've identified function words, the things that we think are function words, we try to identify what stage they are from the 7 stages, right? Is it a she'ela, tshuva, meimra, kushia, tirutz, v'chulei, right? And after we do that, we get a sense, we make sure that we get it, we see a structure, and then we insert the content, and we actually learn the Gemara itself. So this is a really small, compact, little cute sugya, and we should be able to get through the whole thing, all 4 stages of it, even 5 stages, because stage 1 is identifying function words, stage 2 is identifying what stage each is, step 3 is creating stage 3 is a logical sequence, making sure that logically the sequence makes sense. Stage 4 is a flowchart, and stage 5 is actually learning the Gemara. Okay? So, you're starting from this side. Okay? So, we're starting from right when we finish this sugya. Okay, so it starts with the 2 dots that start with the word. It's from the 9th row from the short sheet the 9th row from the top. Starts with the word tafresh, Tanu Rabbanan. Okay? Tanu Rabbanan לפדות, all the way to the colon. Actually, not to the colon, till here. You guys see 9 rows down, Tanu Rabbanan? Here, Alex. Here. Okay, so from here until the next Tanu Rabbanan. Okay? Which is like 7 or 8 lines down. מה זה?
Identify זה כמו...
לזהות.
לזהות,
main function words. מילות המפתח. מילות מפתח, again, let's remind ourselves of function words, מילות מפתח, זה מילים שעצם המילה היא בעצם מודיעה לנו מה הולך לקרות פה. למשל, המילה מאי, שפירוש המילה מאי זה מה, למרות שגם אם אני לא יודע מה הולך, אני לא מבין את הארמית ולא יודע מה הולך לשאלה, אני יודע שזה שאלה. אז אני יודע שזה שאלה, אני יודע שזה שאלה שנשאלה על משהו, אני יודע שהשלב לפני זה הוא סביר להניח מאמרה או אמירה, אני יודע שברגע שנמצא את סוף השאלה, תתחיל מסתם התשובה. אז הנה, יש לי איזושהי הבנה של מה פחות הולך לקרות פה, ואז אפשר להתקדם ולהבין מה קורה פה. בטח. כן.
יש לי עוד יש לי...
הנה, מה רוצה עקרון? אז תזכרו, אנחנו וזה קשה לפעמים. אנחנו לא מנסים עכשיו, אנא לזכור, אנחנו לא מנסים עכשיו לתרגם, ואנחנו לא מנסים להבין את כל הגמרא. אנחנו מנסים לעשות משהו לא טבעי, פשוט לעבור ולחפש מילים שקופצות אלינו, ויש פה תרגום של חלק מהמילים, זה לא בכך כל המילים שאנחנו צריכים, חלק מהמילים שאנחנו כבר נדע מהעבר, אבל מילים שנראות לנו מילים חשובות.
מיניים, למשל. תנו רבנן, לפדות את בנו ולעלות לרגל. פודה את בנו ואחר כך עולה לרגל. רבי יהודה אומר, עולה לרגל ואחר כך פודה את בנו.
עכשיו, אתם יודעים למשל שעכשיו התחלתם עם תנו רבנן, שמה התחיל משהו, נכון? תנו רבנן זה ציטוט. כל פעם שיש תאותיות, תף נון יו, תף נון א', זה התחלה של משהו. עכשיו, זה ציטוט, אני לא זוכר אם דיברנו על זה, אבל זה אומר שזה ציטוט ממקור תנאי. בסדר? אם זה ציטוט ממקור תנאי, באיזה שפה זה יהיה? אז מקור תנאי זה אומר שזה מתקופת המשנה, שנכתבה, מה? זה בעברית. אז אחד מהצורות הכי טובות לדעת איפה נגמר השלב הזה, זה לחפש פשוט איפה נגמר העברית. ברגע שתתקלי במילה שלא נראית לך עברית, אז 90% מהזמן זה אומר ששם מתחיל השלב הבא. כי בעצם מביאים ציטוט, צריך לזכור שהגמרא זה בעצם דיון של האמוראים על סמך מקורות שקדמו להם. כלומר, מי שמביא, כמו שהמשנה, זה פשוט דיונים בין רבני המשנה על פסוקים. מי שמביא פסוק אומר, אני חושב שזה מרקע, אני חושב שזה מרקע, אז בעצם זה פשוט ציטוט בעוד שלב וציטוט. אז הגמרא מה שעושה זה מביאה ציטוטים ממקורות קודמים, או פסוקים מהתורה, או מקורות תנאים, או מבארת אותם, או שואלת עליהם, או מבררת. אז הנה, יש פה, בקרה קלאסי, יש פה ציטוט ממקור תנאים. And someone's going to do something with it. מישהו יעשה את זה משהו, או שישאל איזה שאלה, או שיסכים עם זה, או שיבאר את זה, או שיקשה על זה, אבל, וזה כבר השפה של הדיון, או הדברים על המשנה, כבר יהיו בארמית, כי זה המוראים שזה נכתב בבבל, ולכן זה היה מעבר. וזהו, ואז אתם יודעים שנמצאים בשלב אחר.
אני מתחילה נקפתי לפה, אבל אנחנו פה מתחילים, כן? אחרי ידי. תנו רבנן. לפדות את בנו ולעלות לרגל. פודה את בנו ואחר כך עולה לרגל. רבי יהודה אומר, עולה לרגל ואחר כך פודה את בנו. שזו מצווה עוברת וזו מצווה שאינה עוברת. ושלמה לרבי... אוקיי, אז פה זה מתחילה כל גמרא התנגד.
How are we doing?
בשלמה ורבי
Got three functions.
If we're supposed to fill in all of those lines, then we're missing one.
Yeah, I always debate whether I should let people do just a second. I always debate whether I should put the lines or I shouldn't put the lines. Because maybe it's not necessarily 4. Just because I think it's 4 doesn't mean it necessarily is 4. Okay, so Tana Rabbanan for sure, Mishnah for sure, De Amakra, correct. But you guys are not completely in line. Okay, but after Bishlama, before the Amakra, you're right. But there's something very, very obvious. Well, it's not nice of me to say anymore. There's something that you missed that you shouldn't have missed.
No.
If you're not sure, it's not a function.
I mean, there is a my Tama in there, but
what? But it's that's classic.
But I wasn't sure.
Why would you think not?
It seemed like it might be part of the previous one.
You're absolutely right. It is.
Not understanding the.
You're absolutely right. It is. But it is definitely. What is this way? Is it a function word? Is it a word that indicates what's about to happen, or indicates what the Gemara is doing here? Not saying what the Gemara is doing here. Is the phrase "my tama" and give you a clear concept of what the Gemara is trying to achieve right now?
Ordinarily it wouldn't. I thought maybe if it was part of some other structure that it wouldn't necessarily serve that function. Without getting into the
that is exactly what we're going to talk about. You are 100% correct. You've sensed it correctly. You've understood it correctly. But even so, the phrase "my tama" is always going to be trying to ask a question. Right? So you're saying, maybe it's part of a larger question. Maybe it's part of an answer. Sometimes my tama could be part of an answer. But it's an answer that's being given in a form of a question. I'm saying that is a question language. Always. Just the word "my" is always 99% of the time a question language. And my tama for sure. But you're right to sense that it doesn't stand here on its own. There's something else going on here. Okay, מה שלומנו? עד איתנו רבנן הבא. זהו, עד ולא עד בכלל. Okay, I told you it was easy. I said this was a short, nice one. There's a whole bunch of these now, which is great because you get a feeling of, we can actually figure it out. Okay, so someone's start me out. Okay, the first function in the word is what? Tanu Rabbanan. Right? Okay, which is what? What stage is it? איזה שלב זה?
State.
מימרה, נכון. Let's be annoying. Well, how do we know that? How do we know it's a memra? You're right, of course it's a memra. How do you know?
Because there's the previous one has ended, I guess. Or
what?
The previous sugya has ended.
Okay, no, it's the beginning. Meaning, if it had a dead Tanu Rabbanan, then there would be a continuation. Trying to prove the previous sugya. If it said Ha Tanu Rabbanan, it would be a continuation of the previous sugya, attacking it. It's just Tanu Rabbanan, which literally means the rabbis taught. Mm-hmm. It's the beginning. Said. Until where does it go? What's the next function word? Well, as we were saying before, you want to know where the stage ends. Easiest thing is you look for where the Hebrew stops. Pretty simple. It's in the next source. It's in Hebrew. Okay. Next stage. Wait, Alex, is it Ami? We can maybe can move the camera a little bit. Oh. Thank you. Next stage. Bishlam. Okay. איך את יודעת שזה שם התחיל השלב הבא?
זה עבר לארמית.
איך את יודעת שזה ארמית?
כי ישר לפרוסו.
יפה. Okay, so it's not a bulletproof proof, but it doesn't sound like Hebrew, and the ending aleph is a good indication. It's not. There are words in Hebrew that finish with the letter aleph, but it's a lot less common.
How would you say the same word in Hebrew? It makes sense.
Maybe the name?
If you wanted to stay to the תרגום של המילה. But the word itself, it would be beshalom. It comes from the word shalom, which is it's at peace.
Oh, it makes sense.
It fits. When we translate it as it makes sense, זה הגיוני ש. אבל הצורה שבו המילה אומרת זה מה שאתה אומר מסתדר. What he's saying fits with it, but what's one word to say? Beshalom. It's in peace with it.
Okay.
Bishlama. Okay.
Okay.
So in Hebrew it would be beshalom in whatever.
Okay.
Okay.
So
it would sound just as strange in Hebrew.
Right.
Okay. But that's what the word bishlama is, in peace with. Meaning
completed.
What?
Completed. It's done.
Okay. Okay. What stage is starting here? Wait. Before that, next function word. Anna, מה יש לכם as the next function word?
מהי?
רוצה להמשיך?
אני מנסה למצוא.
מה הולך עם המאי? Usually my, I'll try to stay in frame. Usually my doesn't stand on its own. Usually it's part of my nafkamina, my binayu, my ishna, because the word... Yefe, my tamayu. Okay? There are cases where my appears on its own, very rare. Because the word my means what? So you wouldn't have a sense that it just has what, like, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to say? What's the reason? What's the source? What's the difference? What's the... As a tzedek shemai is the real function, but it's my tamayu. And last and not least, the last function word? De'amarkra. בסדר? גם לכם זה... זה גם מה שיצא לכם? אוקיי, יופי. בסדר, אוקיי. So that's it. It's a really smooth, זה ממש קטן, פיצי, חמוד כזה. Okay. So we have a memra, bishlama starts what? איזה שלב מתחילים bishlama? So this is a new word for us. It's a new function word. זאת מילה חדשה בשבילנו. bishlama, as we said, means זה הגיוני it makes sense to say ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. Okay? Actually I translated it as, okay, it makes sense. What do you think this starts over here? Daniel, you take this because you sensed it.
Well, it's an explanation, but that's not really one of our function concepts.
So what is okay? So since we're not completely sure, Anna, יש לכם רעיון? איזה שלב זה מתחיל פה? What stage is starting here? With how? What would you be trying to do? Saying it makes sense to say this,
but
it
says something else.
So what does that sound like?
That sounds like
it could be a cushion, I guess.
The way we just said it sounds like it might be a cushion, but for some reason we're not 100% sure. So let's put a question mark. So it sounds like it might be a cushion. Okay, we're not sure. Okay, my tamayu. What stage?
Question.
That's obvious, right? That's obvious. That's easy. Okay? And de'amarkra, you have a question. This question, we have to know what this question is saying. It's saying, what's the reason? I don't know what it's asking the reason for, but it's saying, what is the reason for something? And then it gives, what's this? What starts over here?
Tshuva.
Tshuva. Yeah. Tshuva. What do we know about this tshuva? Based on this phrase, what do we know about this tshuva? Daniel, what do we know about this tshuva?
From the written Torah?
Yes. This tshuva is being given from a source in the Torah. בסדר? אני פשוט לא זוכר מה כנס ומה לא עושים ביחד. כמו שהמילה תנו, the phrase תנו, is always going to be זה תמיד יהיה מקור תנאי. אז קרא, זה תמיד יהיה ציטוט מהתורה. קרא זה המקרא, הדבר שקוראים אותו.
From Tanakh as well, or just
תנ"ך.
Okay.
No, you're right, תנ"ך. אם כתוב קרא או כדכתיב, שזה כמו שכתוב. איפה יהיה כתוב? רק מקום אחד יכול להיות כתוב, בתורה שבכתב. התורה, או תנ"ך. בסדר? אנחנו יודעים פה, אנחנו כבר יודעים, למרות שאין לנו מושג על מה מדובר פה, אנחנו יודעים שיש פה תשובה, יש פה שאלה שמחפשת את הטעם של משהו, את הסיבה של משהו, והתשובה ניתנת על סמך פסוק. אין לנו מושג מה מדובר בכלל, אבל we already know a whole bunch of stuff. Okay? So, if this is a memra, and this is a shela, and this is a tshuva, does this make sense that this would be a kushya?
No.
No, not really. Because you wouldn't have a question on a kushya. If you have a question on a kushya, that means that something's wrong with the kushya. If something's wrong with the kushya, you use a teretz. Right? A kushya will always be followed by teretz. Always. Always. Well, a kushya can be followed by a proof. That's part of the kushya, right? Let's just kind of remember a few things, just basics, because we're a little rusty. A kushya is always hiding a statement in it. What statement is a kushya always hiding within it? You are wrong. Right? A kushya is attacking you, saying, you are wrong. And in order for me to be able to say you are wrong, I need to bring some proof to that. I can either prove it from a source, that you're wrong, because you contradict the source, or based on logic, that what he's saying just doesn't make sense. Okay? So a kushya will usually be followed by, as part of the kushya, a proof, to back up the fact that you are wrong. And all a teretz needs to come and say, no, I might not be wrong. That's it. A teretz doesn't have to be definitive. It says, no, you're so sure I'm wrong, I might not be wrong. So a sheila, let's remember, this is good. Remember something. What's the difference between a sheila and a kushya? What's the difference between a sheila and a kushya?
Sheila is innocent.
Sheila is innocent. The question comes from a place of lack of knowledge. I don't know something. Like, I don't know the reason for what you said. I don't know who said this. I don't know where you said this. I don't know the reason for this. I don't know what the difference is between this and this. A question always comes from a place, חסר לי מידע. שאלה, תמיד מגיע ממקום שחסר לי מידע, אני רוצה לברר משהו שאני פשוט לא יודע. Comes from a place of innocence, מגיע ממקום של חוסר ידע. A kushya always comes from a place of knowledge. Okay? קושייה כאן גם במקום של ידע. אני יודע משהו. אני יודע שאתה טועה כי שם כתוב אחרת. אני יודע שאתה טועה כי מה שאתה אומר לא הגיוני. Okay? That's between a sheila and a kushia. So, a sheila, you would not say, oh, you're attacking me saying I'm wrong? Let me just clarify what you mean by that. Because if I need to clarify what you mean by that, that means there's something about what you said which isn't for sure. That's all I need to rebut your attack. The possibility that you might be wrong. See what I'm saying? You with me? Meaning a sheila, a kushya would never be followed by a sheila. Because a sheila denotes there's something that you said which isn't clear. That is exactly what I would use as a teretz. To come and say, oh, if there's something about your kushya that leaves it something unclear, that's what you say, oh, maybe it's discussing this option, and therefore your kushya is not a kushya. I don't need to prove that your kushya is wrong. All I need to do is to say that it might not be right. Okay? Let's think of an example. Well, we use the story that we use at the beginning of the year. A person comes in and says, I saw a person lifting a car over his head. And then the person says, that's impossible. It is impossible for a human being to pick a car over his head. It's like, I don't need to come and say, oh, was he human? All I come and say is maybe the person I saw wasn't human. Maybe that. Right? I don't need to clarify. All I need to do is saying that you're so sure I'm wrong, I might not be as wrong as you think. So all this was an attempt to explain why this could not be a kushiyah. This is a shelah, which it for sure is. For sure. This cannot be a kushiyah. So what else could it be? Another memra. Bishlama. It makes sense. So
a statement of explanation of the.
Okay.
A tangent.
A tangent.
First memra.
Okay. You know what? Based on this structure, yeah, you're right. It could be. What else could it be? You had it before.
You
did. Doesn't mean that what you said now doesn't make sense. You had it before. Why don't you get any notes? You said it. You said it when. Why did you not write this stage, Daniel?
Because it seemed to be part of the previous segment.
Part of
Bishlama. Somehow it was.
You're right. It is absolutely.
So
you're right.
So it's all a Sheila.
Very good. Okay. This is a new structure. We haven't met this before, which is Bishlama, which is here. I'll use this. Okay, just like we learned a new structure, we'll do that. Always will have a certain structure to it. We'll always have 2 or 3 stages following it. Also, a Bishlama will always have the following structure. It's saying like this: Bishlama, I understand. It makes sense what you told me over here, or this part of what you said makes sense to me, but this part I don't understand. Which is a question. I'm saying I don't understand something. So it's saying, I understand, we had a Mishnah with 2 opinions in it about, I don't know. We'll see soon. Okay? And it says, Bishlama, what he said. I understand what opinion A said. I'm fine with that. But what opinion B said, what's his reason? What's his thinking? Okay? It's a very simple structure, but that's why it's one thing. It just has 2 phrases to it. It'd be like saying, I would like to ask you a question. What is your reason for this? Okay? There's not 2 different stages. There's just 2. Can you remember? יש לי שאלה לשאול אותך. מה שלומך? זה לא 2 שלבים שונים. נכון? זה פשוט 2 ביטויים של שאלה בתוך אותו משפט. צריך לזכור, we have to remember that the Gemara is a recording of the live conversations of the rabbis. בסדר? זה פשוט, מישהו כתב את השיחות האמיתיות שהיו לרבנים בבית מדרש. So a lot of it is just the way people spoke. Okay? So, that's what we have here. Bishlama, it makes sense to me what they said. But what the other people said, what's their reason? So it is the simplest structure that you can have. You just have a Meimra, a Sheila, and a Tshuva. A Meimra, which is, and look at this, it's very, very simple. You have a Meimra, you have someone brings a quote from a Tanaic source, someone asks a question about it, and someone answers it based on a pasuk. That's it. As the simplest structure you could possibly have. Okay? Now we're ready to actually learn the Gemara. Any questions? Okay, but this is important to understand this new structure of Bishlama. So what I'm going to do next class, I'm going to bring an unseen Gemara from a completely different place that has this structure, and one that has this structure, a Bishlama, so you can practice these structures. So just like with math, you get to learn how to solve an equation, and then anytime you meet it, you'll know how to do it. Okay, you understand the dynamic of what's going to happen. So I'm just going to write over here, like with the Bishlama, just like we had over there, Kol Modim, I want to kind of like a list some other time of all the like important function words that we saw that kind of denote their own structure. So it's Bishlama X, okay, and then my Tama of Y, okay, and this is. Okay, and that's 9 out of 10 times they'll come together. Because Bishlama will always be followed by a follow-up. Like, I understand X. I don't stop me to tell you I understand. I'm only telling you that I'm understanding it because I want to say, this part I do understand, and this part I don't. Set up? Okay, now flip the page and learn the Gemara. You'll need some of these words over here to maybe help you, but maybe not. But what we're doing is, you're reading each stage. Read the first stage, try to understand what it's saying, okay? And then answer the first question, okay? Then read the She'elah, try to figure out what it's saying, and the questions will guide you in trying to solve it, in trying to piece it together. Is that it?
Yep. So, what are the 2 comparisons?
Compare.
Lashvot.
Shaveh.
So they're comparing against. I don't know if we've done it, but those are the 2 competing with
that choice. You can either go up for the regular or
Pidyon and Bad. Right. What is the question being asked?
So which should be first?
Okay, yeah, which do you do first?
מה השאלה הראשונה?
השאלה הראשונה זה מה עם שתי המצוות שמתנגשות במשנה. המשנה מביאה שתי מצוות שהיא מאמתת אותם אחד עם השני. כלומר זה לעומת זה. מה עם שתי המצוות?
בודד בנו ואחר כך עולה להגיד how do you know that it's Chazal?
Yes. There's nobody else his name there.
Oh, okay.
Right. If there's no if there's no person that's the default, that's the majority.
To go up to
זה מצווה, בשלושת החגים שיש מצווה ספציפית לעלות לירושלים.
אז רק היום בעבודה קראתי על זה במשפטים. שתי המצוות שמתנגשות זה לבנות את הבן ולעלות לרגל.
יהודה מרגל אחר כך
כשבעצם איך הם מתנגשים? מה הסיטואציה שבו הם בעצם מתנגשים?
מה זה להתנגש?
They clash. It's saying this or this. מה הסיטואציה? What would be the situation? מה תהיה הסיטואציה שבו זה בכלל אפשרי?
שהילד, שהפתאום הבן מגיע בחג.
זאת אומרת, שזה נופל בדיוק ביום, נגיד היום ה-30, שזה היום שצריך לבדות, זה יום שבו הייתי חלות לרגל, או אם אני צריך בפסח להיות בזה, אז אומר נגיד יום 30 זה ביום לפני.
Oh, so it's not a financial question.
So it doesn't say, it might also be that. I need money to travel to Yerushalayim. The Gemara doesn't say which, the Mishnah doesn't say which, what is the issue.
Right.
It just says, for one way or another, I have to choose right now, I can only do one of them.
I see.
Now, if we're saying, well, that would be second level thinking. What would cause you to have to choose, because let's say, if you're living outside Yerushalayim, it could be a money thing. Let's say you're living in Yerushalayim. It could be a matter, let's say you're living outside Yerushalayim, whatever. It doesn't tell us how. But you can only do one of them. And doing one means you can't do the other.
Right. So you can do it.
My guess is I actually think it does have to do with money. It makes more sense when it does have to do with money. Because, what's the other thing? Time? Right. How much time does it take? It can take 60 seconds. You can do it in 60 seconds.
You can do it there.
You can do it there.
When you get there,
So maybe it is a matter of money. And that would make sense considering the fact that we just discussed the concept of money in relation to inability to do the mitzvah.
But then the question would apply to somebody who lives already in Yerushalayim, right?
Maybe it wouldn't.
It's only for people who need to
maybe
travel.
It doesn't tell us. It doesn't tell us what the reason is.
So the explanation might help. Forbearance here, does it have to do with time?
Where are you?
The explanation, I guess, of Yehuda. Shzo mitzvah averet, v'zo mitzvah.
Right, so to averet, it's a passing mitzvah. What could that mean?
That it's has to be done in a particular time.
Which one?
What
does Rabbi Yehuda say? Which one does he say you do?
Rabbi Yehuda says you do...
You can avert first.
What does Rabbi Yehuda say?
Because after Pesach, whatever, you can't fulfill the mitzvah.
Which one? Which can you not fulfill?
You can't go up, you can't do the pilgrimage.
Right, but what can you do?
You can do Pidyon then anytime.
Right. Meaning you might not be doing it at that first moment you can, but as I've seen in the previous figure, even if the time has passed, you still have to do it.
Things over you.
Right.
So that, if that's what that phrase means, that explanation, then this has to do with time. I guess.
No, it doesn't necessarily mean that is the conflict. Right. It could be that right now I don't have the money, but in 2 months I'll have the money, which won't help me for the other regel, but will help me for Pidyon HaBen.
Right.
Because I can do the Pidyon HaBen in 2 months with the new money I just earned.
Okay.
So he gets.
The
Gemara understands Rabbi Yehuda's.
It makes sense that Rabbi Yehuda Kidamar.
That doesn't understand Chazal.
מה שלומנו?
אומר שקודם לעלות,
So Kidamar means.
ואז לבדות.
But what does mean Kidamar?
As he said his reason. Oh, he gave his reason. Okay.
Because he said the reason.
Right.
יפה.
El Rabbanan.
That's כדאמרתמה. He just said it.
Right.
What about Rabbanan that he gave the reasons?
You see how the Bishlama, my Tama worked?
Mm-hmm. So this one's pretty easy then.
Yes.
El Rabbanan, my time.
Everything's easy once you understand how it works.
But would there be a situation where, let's say, Bishlama understands the first guy without explaining why he understands? Or is it because
usually it would tell us why it's Bishlama. Okay? Because if you have to tell me Bishlama, then it wasn't really obvious, right? If you have to tell you, oh, this I understand, then it won't, so usually the Bishlama will be followed by this I understand because or sometimes it will be the Bishlama this because we've learned somewhere else the same thing. But this, where did you get it from? Okay, but sometimes it will just say Bishlama without explaining why, and then that's where the Rishonim will come and say, well, why is it so simple? You know, based on what? Why is this so clear to you? Oh, because the same person who said the Bishlama somewhere else said the exact same thing, so for him it was obvious, whatever. He usually will explain why it's so clear, why that's not a problem.
So this one seems sort of easy because the explanation given by Rabbi Yehuda seems, at least on its face, to be pretty easy to understand.
Right. Which is, the criteria is the ability to do both. I can compromise the timing. I can compromise. Maybe I would be compromising, doing the mitzvah the best possible way. But at least I can do both.
Right.
But the other option, as I do, that can raise an interesting question: is it better to do one the best way, or compromise one to do both of them, even though it means doing one of them at a lower standard? But this has to do with, with something that halacha does all the time, which is things clash and tries to give a value to which one overcomes. Is one more important than the other? If so, why? Under what circumstances? So this is halacha lives in this area.
Pidyon is on the 30th day. Is that what you said?
That yes.
And is that?
But it's from the 30th day, meaning on the 30th day is when it's supposed to be done.
Okay.
But if it's not done, it needs to be done.
Is that the same as Milah?
So it's a good question, because with Milah we discussed it at length. The Tosfot discussed at length exactly what the definition of the mitzvah is past the 8th day. Pidyon we did not see as elaborate a discussion about it. But logic would say why wouldn't it be the same? But we don't know. We didn't go there. How are we doing? Mashlomenu?
Okay, so what's the proof, the explanation for Chazal?
אם הם אומרים בשלמה לרבי יהודה, זה אומר שהם מסכימים עם רבי יהודה והם לא מסכימים עם מה של השם.
לא שמסכימים, פשוט להם, כלומר אין להם בעיה.
אז השאלה שהם שואלים, אז זה קודם בודד בנו.
מה? זה על הדעה הראשונה. אבל למה פשוט להם, למה לא קשה להם על רבי יהודה?
כי כבר אומרת, כדאי.
תסתכלו בגמרא, תקראו מה כתוב, רבי שלמה לרבי יהודה.
So Pidyon is
שככה אומר הטעם?
כדכאמר תנא. כדכאמר תמא.
רבי יהודה הביא סיבה.
נכון. כשרבי יהודה הביא את הדעה שלו, הוא גם הסביר, הוא אומר פירוש, הוא הסביר למה. אז הוא אומר, כן, לא, זה אומר, אז מבחינת ההיגיון של הטענה, בשלמה, לא, אין לנו בעיה עם רבי יהודה, כי רבי יהודה הסביר בעצמו. אבל מה הסיבה של חכמים? הם לא הביאו סיבה לדעה שלהם. אז מה הסיבה? רבי יהודה, ברור לנו למה. הוא אמר, הוא הסביר, הוא אמר בפירוש. לא תמיד התנאים במשנה יגידו מה הסיבה שלהם. רבי יהודה במקרה הזה אמר, אני חושב ככה וזאת הסיבה שאני חושב ככה. אוקיי, ברור לנו למה רבי יהודה סובר, כמו מה שהוא סובר. אבל רבנן, מה איתם? מה הסיבה שלהם של להגיד הפוך, שקודם יעלה לרגל, קודם יפדה את בנו ואז יעלה לרגל?
אין סיבה.
לא, כאילו עכשיו אנחנו שואלים, זאת השאלה, אני לא יודע, מה הסיבה? ואז הגמרא עכשיו תענה, על סמך פסוק.
So this other, after the word hadar, right?
Yeah.
That's from somewhere else.
The truth is, I was going to tell you guys to actually open up what I don't have here, Chumash, to actually look at the pasuk. Okay? But did you understand the truth, the answer? Hadar, I didn't write the word. Hadar is afterwards. So first the pasuk says this, and after the pasuk says this, it says that. So what is the first part of the pasuk?
You should redeem every firstborn.
And then right afterwards, it says in the pasuk.
Oh, it's actually the same pasuk.
Yeah, here, I'll show you. Where is it? Where's the pasuk?
Shmot Lamed Dalet.
Shmot Lamed Dalet? Okay. You'll see. It's very clear. I forgot. I was going to put it in there in the sheet.
I thought it had to do with
just he said you do the order.
It's the order, not the fact that here it's an active request and there it's well, if you are empty-handed, do not come.
Here you go. Look. Kol peterachem li. The second. Here. Pidyon. Kol bechor banecha tivdeh.
כאילו זה משהו מכובד.
ולא יראו פני ריקם.
כל מכובד.
And you shall not see my face empty-handed. When do you see my face? When you come to the other regel. So in the pasuk it says, look, Pidyon, then come see Hashem. First you do Pidyon, Haben, then you come and see Hashem.
Right.
That's it. Good reason? Yeah. It says in the pasuk when it brings the order, the mitzvah. It says this first, then this. So obviously this precedes that. Okay, you guys finished with the sheet? I think we have enough time to actually just run through the Gemara. Right? To see that we understand it. סיימתם? פחות או יותר?
מה הפירוש של המילה הדר?
אחרי. הדר. כן. זה לא חלק מהפסוק. שהפסוק, הנה, דיינת כאן, זה לכם משהו סכן? הנה, תסתכלו רגע. פה מופיעה המצווה, תסתכלו. כל בכור בניך תפדה, והדר, ואחרי זה כתוב, ולא יראו פני ריקם. מה זה לא יראו פני ריקם? בבית המקדש. כשבאים לבית המקדש.
חשבתי שזה חלק מה...
לא, זה לא חלק מהפסוק, זה ארמית.
והדר כמילה נפרדת זה כבוד, נכון?
זה לא, זה עברית. אבל פה מי מדבר, המוראים מדברים. They Amarka, right? It's the Amoraim that are giving the answer. The Amoraim in Amora is saying the following words. The pasuk says, and then he quotes the pasuk. The pasuk that he's quoting is in Hebrew. אבל המילה הדר, זה לא הדר של עברית, אז אין כבוד. זה הדר, זה ארמית, המילה הדר. בסדר? שזה, שאחרי, או חוזר להגיד, בסדר? אוקיי. בסדר, we're good? I'm going to need to borrow the Gemara back. בסדר. So let's see. Okay, so let's see that we understood. Okay? נכון? So, let's see. So let's just read through it. I'm going to read the first section. Right? To read. So you know, you guys explain it. Why should I explain it? Someone go and explain it to me.
The rabbi said that the situation is that you have the options of redeeming your son or going up to Jerusalem.
As we said already, we're not sure what the situation is where this is conflicting. Is it a money issue? Is it a time issue? Whatever it is, you can only do one. Rabbi Yehuda, excuse me. So opinion one, which is the Tanakama, the doesn't tell us who, which means it's the majority opinion. First you do Pidyon Ben, and then you go to Aliyah Largel. Rabbi Yehuda, the opposite. Okay. Shelo mitzvah averet, v'zo mitzvah she'ena averet. So what is Rabbi Yehuda's reason, Alex? What's his reason?
That you're going to lose a chance to do.
Right. You're not going to lose out the opportunity to do Pidyon HaBen. Worst case scenario, you do it late. But if you don't go to Bet HaMikdash, you can never get that mitzvah of going. You can go in Shavuot, you can go to Aliyah L'Regel. But you're never going to be able to do the mitzvah of Aliyah L'Regel in Pesach if you've missed it.
Pesach Sheni?
No, you're doing the mitzvah of Pesach Sheni. You're not doing the mitzvah of Aliyah L'Regel on Pesach. That you're never going to get back. Okay? Nice try now. Okay. But so it's a quote. Someone shared, a rabbi stood up in the Bet Midrash and said, guys, I would like to repeat a Torah that I learned in the name of the Tanaim. And he said it. And then he said the following thing. Bishlama, where is it? Bishlama le Rabbi Yehuda kedem al Tama. So this is the first part of the question, which is saying what? What are we saying here? What are we saying? Bishlama le Rabbi Yehuda kedem al Tama.
מסכימים איתו?
בסדר, מסכימים, we understand.
כי הוא הסביר את עצמו.
נכון, כדי כמה אותנו, נכון. אלה רבנן מה איתם היו? כלומר?
מה הסיבה שלהם?
אוקיי. דאמר קרא, and then the last stage, השלב השלישי, תשובה, דאמר קרא, שהפסוק אומר, כל בכור בניך תפדה, והדר לא יראו פני ריקם. אז עידית, אז איך אנחנו... מה התשובה בעצם?
שקודם לפדות את הבן?
זה התשובה, לא, השאלה שלנו היא, מה הסיבה של החכמים למה שהם אומרים? What is the reason of the rabbis for what they're saying? אז מה התשובה שלהם?
פסוק.
פסוק. That's it, that's the answer. Because that's the way the pasuk says we should do it. The pasuk itself tells us which one of these two mitzvot comes first. So, and then it goes and it proves it and says here, look, it says this and afterwards says this. Okay? It's באמת a straightforward sugya. What we're going to do now is just very quickly, I would say, Kidu, just for 2 minutes, tikru it like together, just to read it from the beginning to the end, to see that you understand on the inside. It's taking 2 minutes, but just read it to each other. שאתם יכולים, בלי להסביר. See, as you read it, that it can actually make sense to you. It's a small unit, it's really simple, very clear.
ואחר כך רבי יהודה אומר, אחר כך פתרנו, שזה מצווה עברת, וזה מצווה שאינה עברת. ושלמה לרבי יהודה כדאמר, תמה, אלה רבי יהודה דאמר, קרא כל בחור בניך, תבדק באדם, והדר לא ירוק ליריקה.
Okay, you got it? You guys ready? It made sense to you at each stage?
Yeah.
Okay, wanna switch. Just to hear yourself read it to see that you can actually go through it.
תנו רבנן לפתות את בנו ולעלות לרגל, פודד בנו ואחר כך עולה לרגל. רבי יהודה אומר עולה לרגל ואחר כך פודד בנו.
מה זה אומר?
שזו מצווה עוברת וזו מצווה שאינה עוברת.
שלא יראו פניי, שלא תראו את הפנים שלי, כלומר, כשאתם באים לבקר את השם בבית המקדש, אל תבואו בלי כלום. כלומר, שצריך להביא, בעצם בוא נספקים בה, שיותר מאוחר זה אומר, יש מצווה, יש קורבן, מה שנקרא קורבן נראייה, there's a special קורבן you need to bring, כשבאים לעלייה לרגל, יש קורבן מיוחד, אז אל תבואו, אבל זה פחות חשוב, it's less important the fact that he's saying don't come see me without anything, the fact that he talks about coming to see Hashem, after he talks about doing Pidyon HaBen. Okay? אז
הסיכום שלו זה שקודם צריך לפדות את הבן, ואחרי זה
על פי הדעה של חכמים, כי ככה לומדים מהפסוק. Okay, the one last thing here that I want to just kind of point out, I wrote here at the end, what might be at the foundation of the debate. I'm not 100% sure, okay, because it's such a simple sugya, the Rishonim and the commentators don't discuss this too much, but I think, and I always love trying to see what's hiding behind it, a little bit. because you could say, well, it's very technical. They're just learning from the pasuk, and he is learning from the fact that he thinks, the fact that you're missing, not missing. But I always wonder to myself, what are they, like, there's got to be something deeper to it. Because Rabbi Yehuda also could see the pasuk and say, yeah, I said about pasuk, but I don't agree that that's going to be the deciding factor. And also the Chachamim could recognize that you're giving up. If you're doing Pidyon Haben first, you're missing a Leil HaRegel. They can also see that. Obviously, they disagree that that is a good enough reason. So I'm saying that, whenever you're talking about, there's no right and wrong here. Okay? Mr. Fash, what?
There's no halacha.
There's a halacha. No. There's no right or wrong. At the end of the day, one is going to be decided. By the way, which one is it? It's the majority opinion. It's the opinion that you would first do Pidyon Haben. And even if it means missing a Leil HaRegel. Okay? That's actual halacha. But it doesn't mean the other opinion is wrong. But my question is, if I were to ask Rav Yehuda, don't you agree that pasuk says this order? So why don't you agree with Chachamim? Why is the fact that the Zeh Mitzvah Averet, the Zeh Mitzvah She'eina Averet, why is that more significant than the fact that the order of the pasuk is this? And if you were to ask Chachamim, yes, you're right in the pasuk it appears this way, but there's other places Shaseder Shel Psukim, that there's an order of the Psukim, but it doesn't necessarily mean that there's precedence. Why do you feel that the fact that the order of the Psukim here also means there's precedence, even of Pidyon Haben, even if it means missing it out of Regel? So that's always what I call a second level question that usually the Rishonim do. Usually the commentators of the Middle Ages come in and try to say, okay, what is at the root of the Machloket? Because it's not just technical Machloket, because each side has a pretty good claim. So why do you not agree? Sometimes the Gemara will say, why don't you agree with him? And why don't you agree with him? But sometimes the Gemara doesn't do it. So that's, to me, what's interesting here. And the direction I thought of is because these two mitzvot, when you think about it, it's not just two random mitzvot. The one has to do with the obligation towards my son. Okay, right? An obligation towards, think about it, because what is the pidyon? The pidyon is that my son is supposed to be dedicated towards what?
To the temple.
To the temple. To the service of the temple. So I can almost see like Chachamim coming and saying, listen, it's kind of ridiculous. You're going to Beit HaMikdash to do service to Hashem, but your son is supposed to be dedicated to that. It's
hypocritical.
Yes. I just realized something now. It's almost like you're saying, excuse me, you're coming to me, you should be bringing your son. Your son is supposed to be in Beit HaMikdash. Right? So I'm saying that you're coming to me to give me a korban, excuse me, if you can give me anything, you should be bringing your son. Your son is supposed to be mine. So I'm saying, I can't go to that maybe, again, I'm making this up, but I think there's something, there could be logic. First, take care of Tivdet Haben. Also has to do, let's say, maybe with the fact that first take care of your obligation towards your family and inside the house. But I think more it's come on, you're coming to give me a korban. Who are you trying to kid? You're stealing your son from me. You owe me something that you left at home. So first do that. You've missed other mitzvah. Fine, but don't be hypocritical. Mitzvah sheni, Rabbi Yehuda is, I think maybe much more don't worry, I'll do it. I said mitzvah pidyon haben. Of course I'm going to do it. I don't want to miss I can do both. It's not necessarily just because I'm becoming, it's not hypocritical because I'm going to be doing it. I just don't want to miss the opportunity. So maybe that's something that might be at the root of this machloket, but it's always important to try to think, because that's what makes it, I think, a lot more interesting. After you understand what the Gemara is trying to do, and understand what the Gemara is saying, you can come and say, okay, well, what else is hiding beneath this? Right. And there could be a much bigger discussion here that's hiding behind this about the value of in the house versus outside the house. Seeing something more, how deep you would go into someone's motives versus not motives. Shavuot Tov.